You're going to laugh when I tell you what the topic is.
Okay, go ahead. Tell us the topic.
Toxic masculinity.
Toxic
Masculinity.
masculinity.
Yeah.
Am I pronouncing it right? Masculinity.
Yeah.
Toxic masculinity.
Have you heard of this term before?
Yep.
Nice. So what do you think of it? Why do you think the state of masculinity is toxic or is not toxic right now?
Before I go into that, I think I just spent the last week answering Mr. Wolf Anderson, who's the ex-governor of Sweden. And one of the topics we keep coming back is the future for humanity. And part of the direction is the error of men, the violence of men. So we've been going into this, and I'm almost finishing writing the book on it, like a question and answer. Masculinity is toxic, period. 5,000 years ago, or the Vedas period, almost all the teaching was designed to reform men. So by nature, according to some studies, some ancient scripture, men are toxic. So the transformation of man is the future of humanity. How well men, not women, how well men can transform is the future of humanity. And we have gone through an incredible journey the last 5,000 years, at least recorded history. We seem to be again falling back into celebrating these rah-rah men, we call them toxic men. And these toxic men are designed simply to abuse women. They abuse each other. And the only idea they have is, I'm not a woman. And that is not masculinity at all.
Yeah, that's actually, I was just talking about this. It's a feminist theory. I learned about it in uni. They say that women are to nature as men are to culture. And
Women are to?
Nature as men are to culture. And culture is always oppressing nature. It's a theory. But biologically, women are closer to nature. They give birth and all of that. And the idea of men, a lot of it is to negate femininity and to negate nature.
Yeah. No, if you understand women, not that I'm saying in any sense of the word I'm an expert, but women want things to be together. They want things to grow. They want their children to live on. They want their ancestors. They are the holders. They are the keepers. That's why we call it Mother Earth. Male, if they have not gone through a proper upbringing, a proper transformation, proper discipline, they are ill. The nature of man is to be ill. So the male and female, the female is the balancer of the male. The female is the balancer of the male. That is why the male has always been attacking female. Because they are afraid when they are balanced out, they will become female. They think women are trying to make male female. That's the war. So the idea of male is, I'm not a woman.
Exactly.
The idea of a woman is not, she's not a man,
Yes.
A woman can stand alone in her beauty, in her motherhood.
No, that's what they say. Masculinity is defined through the dismissal of femininity.
Yeah. And we dismiss that. Single word. So we hold man to see, is he cultured? Is he reformed? Is he disciplined? Or is he just running on testosterone and emotion? Is he simply mad? I don't know how many women have been responsible for war, but most war are responsible for male. Male can envision destroying this earth for a pride. What do you want me to say about that species? Now, hang on. I come from a tradition, or I have been subjected to disciplining the male. The whole world of meditation, the whole world of sadhana is nothing but the promise of what can be based on the masculine nature is what a man is. So by birth in gender, one is not yet a man. By his growth and transformation, he becomes a man. So when you say the toxicity of masculinity, I think what you are saying is the denial that man needs to transform leaves the base state of man toxic. Whether women need to transform, I don't know. Women need to bloom, as far as I'm concerned. If you let them, you nurture them, you love them, all women will bloom. But male has to transform. By this, let me ask you, does a male need discipline? Does it need value? Does it need mentor? Does it need initiation? Does it need learning? I think it's absolute. Now, why masculinity is toxicity is we are denying that. We are saying, as I'm born, I'm already that. No, you're just a gender. You have not yet become a man. The day the man can open the door for the woman, he's becoming something of a man proper. The day a man will be able to control his toxic nature of war and rape and conquest, for the first time, he's becoming a man. So the toxicity of man is present when we don't acknowledge a fathering is needed. I don't know whether it's the right word. That all male has to be fathered, has to be taught, has to be educated, has to be held. What is happening in the world is we are sanctioning the dismissal of the disciplining. We are saying we should celebrate a man being a Neanderthal, a man being wild. More and more we are thinking that's what a male means. We have forgot that the male will become a father, he'll become a brother, he'll become a husband. We are forgetting that. So there's a lot of this movement about, I don't know, being macho or being wild. You are obsolete, sir. I don't know whether you can be a father. I don't know whether you can husband a woman rightly. I don't know whether you can be a proper leader. I must quote Mr. Wolf Anderson,
Wolf.
What?
Wolf.
Wolf, not wolf, Wolf. I said, I admire you, sir. I see my father in you. That's a male that is reformed. That's a male who's a statesman. That's a male when he speaks, he holds. The other day we went for dinner. I don't know, 6, 8 of us there. The gentleman he was, he held everybody together. And I could see the masculinity reaching its beauty. What is happening now? Why you're even talking about this subject is, we are denying the demand to transform. We are trying to celebrate the raw. I tell you something about the Hindu god, Ganesha. He carries his favorite, I don't know what you call it, dessert or food, a sweet thing. It's called modagam. Modagam goes through 7 or 9 processes, if I'm not mistaken, they will know. It goes through so many processes before it becomes that which is so delicious, edible. It goes through about 7 to 9 processes. It's transformed. So Ganesha holds it to remind us, as you are not yet. You must transform. I love that. And Ganesha is a symbol of the male. He's the elephant god. The toxicity of male. Now, hang on. Are we denying there has to be a lesson, there has to be a culturing, there has to be a discipline installed? These are undisciplined male who thump their chest running up. Remember when I was young, I used to be in the ring. I had many tournaments. I've seen all these guys. They come out screaming, I'm the one. Well, sometimes they do win, but sometimes a couple of punches will land. Then you see the 10-year-old boy shows up.
Yeah, but I think that like in the avoidance of transformation now amongst men, right? They want to stay boys. They almost want to regress because they think that that's the alpha male to be that more like Neanderthal version of them. And unfortunately, so many young boys are also looking to these figures who preach this sort of base level masculinity. There was even a clip going on social media of this little boy. He was 8, 9 years old. He asked his mother to bring him to see this influencer, and he goes up to the influencer and he was like, oh, or something. And the guy was like, no, we should love women. And he was like, no, but you said what? This.
Yeah.
And then somebody in the comments was like, his mother probably drove him there.
Yeah.
But these young boys are being like indoctrinated with this
No,
narrative.
but you know why they were never told the result of being there. You know what is the result of being that? They will not be loved. They will not be included. They will not be respected. They will not sit in the table with grown men. And women will reject them. When they are desperate in the beginning, hormonal stage, they might be excited, but they will not love that guy. The notion is the more vulgar, the more rough, the more wild you are, you would be the pick of the day. No, that is not true. That is insulting women.
Yeah, and I think
Let me finish. A woman wants a strong man, but she doesn't want a wild man. She wants a man that will eventually father her children, will be there for her. So the value, the output, they think being like that is popular, and the people that are supporting that popular needs to be taught a lesson.
I think they also a lot of what these men sort of like they're preaching is we can't get women if we're too nice. And if we're too nice, the women are gonna walk all over us. They have this sort of narrative within
No,
them.
if you must be a man who can survive a woman walking all over you.
Yeah, like lucky
If you're
you.
afraid, if your wife controls you and you can't survive it, you're not much of a man. The man who thinks he will not let his wife control him is the man. No, that's stupidity. A real man can allow the woman to walk all over him, daughters bully him. That's the real man.
Lucky him.
Lucky him. Yeah. No, the notion, I will not be controlled. Why not? I will not be disciplined. Why not?
I think it's also stemming from the fragility of masculinity. Why do you think it's so fragile?
Not good fathers, not good teachers. I had a great father. I had a great martial art teacher. More than learning how to fight, he taught me how to be a man. I don't know whether I learned it totally, but he taught me what it means to be a man. He showed me the beautiful side of masculinity and what I need to strive to. He used to tell me, I teach you to fight, to defend yourself, so you never have to fight, son. You fight if you have to, but you never have to. You never glorify yourself in beating somebody. Once I asked him, he was in the war, I don't know why I asked him. I said, so how many people you kill? He almost wanted to hit me. He didn't, but we men will not talk of such things. I was like, it's not a pride. He was a real warrior. In the Japanese time he was fighting, he said, we men will not speak of those. Like if you ask the real man, oh, how many girlfriends you had? He will not speak of those subjects. He will say, no. That happened between two people's privacy. No. Right now, something else is happening. But relax. These guys are joke. I don't even know why we are wasting an episode on them. They are a joke. They will never accomplish anything. They will never do. They might buy a big bike or get some things and walk around and threaten some poor fellow. But when he's really put into a corner, the 10-year-old boy that looking for the father to discipline him will show up.
And I think also a lot of them are looking to shame women. They want...
Good luck. That's all I say. If they want to shame women, good luck.
But why do you think they want to do that? It's like they almost want to get a beautiful woman because they have all their criteria. She has to be skinny, she has big boobs, all of this. And they want to get her. And then they want to say, sit in the kitchen. You have to behave like this. And like...
No, that is the definition of male for thousands of years that we haven't changed. But I speak for the male. You do that to a woman, you lose everything the woman can offer. If I have a beautiful painting and I don't put it in the right place and enjoy it, I'm missing the benediction of the painting. Any man who abuses a woman, he's abusing his bliss, his happiness. Why would he do that? Something is wrong. He has some kind of childhood trauma. But this I say, all over the world I hear this. A lot of people are talking about, we're going to raise our children to be male and we're going to hunt, we're going to kill and fight, and that's what it means to be male. To these fathers, what are you doing? Being that, has it served you? My organization, I think 70% or 60% are women. I am enriched by women. I have daughters. You're a dumbass. I'm sorry to be vulgar. You're an idiot, and you have to be shown that way. Remember this. I grew up in a tough culture, Apshi. I grew up, village life. You fight. The pride was not whether I win or lose. The man I became, the man I am. I also must say this, the day the toxicity of male is transformed, I will declare it is one of the most beautiful things being a man. I thank God I'm a man. Not that being a man is not being a woman. Just being this species as a male, I love it. I'll defend my family. I'll look after them. I'll put myself down. I love being that. That's what it means to be a male. I'll stand up for the weak. I will govern everybody. Female around me feel safe. I would love them. I will enjoy them. That's what it means to be a male. But what they did was, they took the broken male who was bullied by a mother or something, and they say, I don't want to be this broken male. So in order not to be a broken male, I'll go break women. Get some help. Get some therapy. Would be my state.
No, it's true. It's true. It's definitely true. It's like, you can see how you said that, like, I would proudly say in the evolution of man, when we hit that point that I'm proud to be a man. Men almost like, it's barely even possible at this point because of the state of it to state so proudly, I'm so happy to be a man. What do you mean by that? And then,
you see, does a king define himself not being a queen? A king defines himself by himself, A king will say, I'm not a queen. A king can make a woman a queen. A king can sit with a queen. A king simply means someone who is self-owned, reformed, transformed, holds himself beyond the animal instinct of them. You see, the day, even though there's reason for it to go extinct, the kings represent what male can be, as how my masters represent how a human can be. The king represent how a male can be. My masters represent how a human can be. This was the marriage. And all of it was dedicated to male. Meditation is for male. Celebration is for female. Devotion is for female, at least before. So why are you even asking this question? Disregard these guys. These are idiots. These are the people you're supposed to not invite for your party, not say hi to. But do you know what they're saying to you? Why are you asking this question? They're asking you to accept something against your nature, which is we're supposed to celebrate the violence of men. Again, when men had to go to war and defend their nation, that is not violent, that's peace. I'm not saying sometimes we don't have to go and fight. That is for peace, but it is not violent. Violent is an unprovoked attack to a weaker species.
the reason I ask this question is because it is something that is becoming, in this world, we're split right in half, is how it feels. They are this side.
The fathers failed. They should have Eric's father. They should have my father. They should have some real father who know how a man should be. How a man should be.
It just seems like it's getting more and more prevalent. Even myself, I don't really have male friends. I have maybe 2 straight male friends. I just feel like so many men are like this, that like, why are they like this? Like, why is this so endlessly ever present in our society now? In the other half,
you know why? When I was growing up, Apshi, the whole village will correct me. Everybody fathers everybody's child. We do. Anybody who knows my father will correct me if I do wrong. Right now, everybody's hands off. You're not supposed to say. Now, this modern day psychology of parenting is absolute ludicrous. Don't say that. Don't discipline that fellow. Let him go wild. As though some distorted notion of psychology of freedom, which is what has destroyed. The fathers step up. If a son misbehaves in my village, we call the father. If a son is misbehaving, we will go to the house and call the father, come here. How did you raise this boy? What is he doing? I'm saying the fathers are on the line. So all these guys who are running around being toxic male, you're insulting your father. In my village, you cannot misbehave because I represent my father and I was disciplined by the whole village. That is not there. Now we have this modern day, people read 2 books on parenting or listen to 6 TikTok videos and they start talking about, oh, don't say that to my son. Sometimes I tell when students bring their kids, can you leave him with me for a few minutes? He's like a 5-6-year-old misbehaving. I said, can you just go out? Let him sit with me for about 10 minutes. We will straighten the boy out. He's misbehaving. He's shouting. I'm like, come here, come here, come here. You are a boy. Sit, watch what I do, learn. It is the false freedom given to the child by irresponsible parents who think being wild is the answer to be successful. No. To me, the answer to this talk is toxic male should not be tolerated. Maybe that's why I don't go to the pub or the clubs, but I've heard when I was younger days, they are bouncers.
Yeah.
You know why bouncers are there? They bounce out these guys. The moment you cannot be in a part of a crowd, you start hitting on women wrongly.
Actually, bouncers are usually such nice guys.
There. You see, what you are doing is you are thinking they are going to be an integral part of your world. Reject. There are good boys. There are good men who has good fathers and good mentors. You are not finding them. You're just finding this wild. Remember, this is so interesting. At my age, I can say, I've talked to policemen. I've talked to a lot of people. I used to know a man who was a doctor for the hanging. He's the doctor who checks before the hanging. And I asked him once, we were talking, are they tough? He said, no, sir. He said, in his whole career, he only saw one guy. And there was an Australian guy who was being hanged, and he said, go ahead, do it. He said, every one of them, the knee buckles. Even Saddam Hussein knee buckled. These are just bullies. They are brave when they are in a group. You meet them alone, it's a whole other story. How come if they are so amazing, they don't do well economically, they don't build? How come they don't find somebody to love them? And thank God they met this man. You are giving credit, even by asking this question. These are boys that have to be disciplined, and I believe the world will discipline them.
Yeah. What about, let's pivot a little bit, but still within the same area. Let's talk about accountability amongst men. Because this is something I've seen amongst my friends in my entire life, where men, they just don't hold each other accountable the way that they should. They will watch their friends be inappropriate with women, touch their ass, whatever, and they will be like, oh, bro. They won't be like, hey, don't do that. And they'll watch their friend abuse their girlfriends, be, rude and this and that, and they just won't say anything. It's that boys' locker room mentality.
Well,
that
Trump did it.
Absolutely. And how many people support him? How many people support that mentality? Like,
it almost is becoming a bullying among men. If you don't look away, you don't support the wrong, you might not have friends. Yes, that has to be addressed.
Yeah, they'll be like, oh, you're a sissy boy or whatever.
Yeah. And this is why another movement must happen. Once, behind our house, many years ago, 25, I was driving back and a man was beating his wife on the road or something. I don't know whether your mother was in the car. I don't know for what reason. I pulled the handbrake, got up and smacked the guy. And he said, who are you to interfere? I said, I'm her brother. Smacked him. And the lady was looking at me. I got into my car and I drove off and I was like, what did I just do? I don't know whether I change anything, but I'm saying, no. It's my business. It's my street. It's my business. Do you know what has happened? We are not encouraging that. Do you know it happened to me once in Australia, Abshi? I was with Marshad Aziz, one beautiful guy there.
I remember.
And I was by the lake, and suddenly there was a boy coming alone. And I said, hey, hi, how are you doing? The boy was talking to me. He came and pulled my hand and said, don't talk to the boy. I said, why not? Oh, then they will say you are something, you're trying to do something. I said, I'm not doing anything. It's just a boy. He's alone. Where's his parents? That is the fear they put it. Like, I cannot talk to a boy because it means something else. And I'm saying, maybe we have gone too far. You see, like this, I tell parents, raising your child is your business, agreed. But your child misbehaving with me is my business. So I hold you accountable. Nowadays, you don't advise, don't tell. Then we are all supported for the misbehavior of that child. So parents, I'm telling you, raise your child rightly, because you don't raise him rightly, we get affected. But this movement has always been. But what is missing is the elders are missing. The grown people are missing. You understand? We have denied the older people. Listen to me. I have 2 daughters. I don't know, 100 young women around me, my disciples' children. I always give them my number and I say, if you're ever in trouble, give me a call. No questions asked. That's what they need. I said, here, you're my daughter's friend. Any trouble, call. I'll send someone to help you out, to take care of you. That is what is missing. You see, you are being isolated. You are talking as though you're isolated. Find the good man. Find the good guys. You know how you find them? Ask about their father. If they have a good role model. So I am telling this. The toxic masculinity, the blame goes to the father.
How do you think men can do right by
They
women?
have to do right. No,
How can they do right by women?
what else can you do?
They aren't doing it now.
You see, women are not a prey. That's all. Women are not a prey. Women are not your idea of conquest. Women are not your status symbol for what you have subdued, supposed to say. They're mother of your children. They're the one that will be by your bedside when you're dying. You're asking how men should be right by women? They should. I don't want to explain that. What are you talking about?
I think it's just that, like, there's a line, right? How do you...
No line.
No line.
No line. There's no gray area. It's right or wrong. I refuse to discuss. I refuse to discuss. No.
I think what you said is like, a lot of times now, even guys who seem nice, they are looking for trophies.
Of course.
They are looking for
Yeah.
accomplishments.
Right.
They're looking...
No, it's the pretty boy syndrome. It's the how many women. I don't even want to talk about these things because it's disgusting.
Well, we're just talking about it for and with the world.
No, okay, now since my daughter brought it up, where are the real men? You police it. Men must govern men. Around me, the men around me, they behave. Not that they don't date, not that they don't do something, not that they don't get drunk. I'm not that tight. But I hold them to it. I hold them to do right. I hold them. If they want to be associated with me, they got to be right. But I don't know how many guys around me that have reprimanded, let's say that's the word, when they come and insinuate something they did with someone. No, you just need male to stand up. See what has happened, We have used this word, none of your business, too loosely. The other day, Paul was saying he was in a club. There was some fight. He was involved in the fight. He says his wife joined in. And I'm listening to him and I'm like, why was he in a fight? To break something up, to settle something. He's being a male. He's doing what a male does. Around him, everybody feels safe. You see, I'm not being tight, but I'm just saying, we all know what is right to do. No, you even tolerating this is what has to end. No. Whole men to men. And men must police men. Men must, I don't know whether the word police is right.
I think that, like, a part of it that maybe you, as a man, you can't quite see is that as women, we are always navigating the men around us because even though we are not technically prey, we are still in perpetual danger in a sense.
Yes, you are.
And so in this process of navigation, we can't help but observe what we're seeing. And what I'm seeing is so much of this, even in the men that are perceived as nice men.
I hope you guys hear that. I don't have to comment on it. There is a view of a young lady of the men of our generation, and she's saying it is tolerated by other men. The men that are doing it is one thing. It's tolerated by other men, and by that you are not a man. You are Neanderthal. I don't want to comment on it. Just hear her and you will wake up.
But
and
what,
be right by it.
what is the hope for this new generation of men?
I don't know what is the hope.
Because
But if you
we're
ever want to
evolving,
be-
right? Because we're evolving, right? And there's
No, if they ever want something decent in their life, if ever they want to feel good about being this gender, if they ever want to have any sovereignty, if they ever want to have any magic of being this gender, you better be right. If not, you're just going to be a drunkard fool someday who probably die alone, unloved, unnoticed, just grumbling around. So it is, I'm telling you, you have a choice. Or you grow up to be this beautiful human being who happen to be a male. You miss that beauty of being a man. Maybe that's all I can say. Live what is happening to women. You miss being what it means to be a man. I always say this, However tight I've been, I like being me. I'm a male. There's no doubt about that. I have probably all the tendencies of male, but I like the man I am. And that did not happen accidentally. It happened through learning, disciplining. And I want to be that male, as how my fathers are, my masters are.
I think the definition of being a man, it's been redefined over and over again, and it's been redefined in some very negative ways. But in an essence, the idea of being a man, meeting a good man, it's what every man, male identifying person should hope to attain to.
You see, I admire a few male. They are my teachers, my masters. To me, the supreme, what do you call that? Poster boy for male is Gurdjieff. Next is Krishnamurti.
Gurdjieff, German, right?
No, Russian. Armenian, I think. George Ivanovich Gurdjieff. Oh my God. And Krishnamurti. That's a male, gentle, but powerful. Then you want to go Ramana. You want to go to a male that is a bit more. You can even go and refer to Osho. Or you can go to. And all of them that I'm mentioning are all masters, They're all masters, enlightened masters. And enlightenment for a male is his gender blooming. For a female, her gender dissolving. I think. It's waking up to your gender. Just being birthed with a penis doesn't make a person a man, just makes him a nuisance. The only advantage he has, he probably can pee standing up. Other than that, there's nothing to brag about. But I tell you, if you see someone like Gurdjieff or Krishnamurti, Ramana Maharishi, oh my God. Remember, more than the spiritual aspect of them, my father, your grandfather, is the beauty of the male. But I tell you, in reflection to them, I always want to be their son, I'm telling you why I want to be a son. I'm still perfecting it. I don't want to exaggerate it. I worship them to keep me humble as someone who's evolving, striving. So, every male there must have a father that you say, I'm striving to be. And you will birth a son who will strive to be you. That journey has been denied. Like we were discussing something. I don't know if this is the right subject. Like somebody like Trump is making being juvenile okay.
He's making being juvenile enough to be the president of the United States.
And that is a warning sign for humanity. As much as women are the most beautiful thing in the world, a good man is amazing, And look for them. Why are you hanging out with these boys?
I ain't hanging out with them. I'm just observing them.
Hear that? Just observing them. The toxicity of what?
Masculinity.
Masculinity is toxicity. You see, those days they thought a high testosterone makes somebody violent. Now they know violent people have low testosterone. They are trying to be violent to wake the testosterone up. Such a thing. So all these people who are being the toxic masculinity something is missing. I would say, what is there something in your closet? Would be what? And I have nothing against. Come out of the closet peacefully. I've known enough gay people who are more men, more beautiful
Definitely.
male than I can ever say. Of course, they have a different sexual preference as a male. Oh my God. Like sometimes I don't know whether I should talk about it. Like Andrew, I said, I am learning that. I'm learning how to be gentle like you. I'm more a Neanderthal. So what are we talking about? We are not holding each other in the right standard.
Yeah.
Get on with it. Stop being a boy. Being a man. Be like the joke, be a man. Do the right thing. Something like that. Who's a Russell Peters will say. You see, I say this with an apology for my own species, I'm a male. I probably inherit every toxicity there is. All I can say is I struggle with it. I strive to be the male I can be. I have role models I look up to. Because it's so easy to give in. I just have to not be a woman. A woman can't say, I just don't have to be a man. There's nothing to fight with a man about.
Yeah.
A woman is a whole thing. But I also say, as much as I say women are beautiful, oh my God, my gods, Gurujif, Krishnamurti, and I see them and I go like, oh my God, that is the flowering of the male. As much as I put my hand together to the Indian deities, the female deities, the Amman, I bow to the beauty of that. But I cannot relate with it 100%. I'm not the gender. Maybe this is this. I don't know if it's the right subject, but we are in it. They should be fathered properly. Like I look at Trump, I will have a few things to tell his father. You don't grab people, you don't do all that, and you don't brag about things. You do not sanction. Who is supporting them? Have you seen? I'm looking at the people who are supporting them. No, they are not the sophisticated male. They are not the cultured male. In Asia, they say at 6 years old, you go to a guru and the child will be ready for marriage at about age 25. It takes that long to transform this male to a man. And then he enters a marriage system. He raises a family. About 40 something, he graduates to go learn meditation. By 50, 60, he attains to enlightenment. That's the progression. Where is the progression now? A 16-year-old boy thinks he's already made it, when a 60-year-old man is struggling. Maybe what you are asking is, you're telling, come on guys, take care of your own, discipline them. Maybe that's what people have to hear. I know, I can almost hear the backlash, the male who are going, sir, I know you're tough, sir, but I know you are not that tough, sir. I've been around, sir.
I think so much of it is also in the attainment of women. They think being this way will get them a woman who they can subjugate.
And that's the woman who doesn't want to love you, who just wants to use you. That is also out there.
Yeah.
But I add one thing. All this male who thinks they are macho, where do you think PTSD came from after the Vietnam War? They were put in a terrain, go wild, they all broke. So male are not confessing to their fragileness too. So you have to debunk these people. You have to debunk these guys. These guys are not worth mentioning. They will be not invited to a dinner table. But I'm sorry that a young lady has to bring this subject up, where we male should have done it. Point taken, madam. Where we male have to get together and put our species right, not a young lady raising a question. So I apologize for that.
Do better.
Yeah, maybe that's all you can say. Just do better. I love it. That's your tagline. Guys, do better.
No thank you today.
No, thank you, miss.
No thank you from me today.
No, thank you from you today. Okay?
Okay.
Good.